statement from Coach Gross.
First of all, good to see everybody. It's good to be back in this environment relative to where we've been the last couple years. Obviously a heck of a basketball game. We got great respect for Buffalo. It seems like forever we've been competing in particular against Segu and Williams, and I told them that after the game. Got great respect for them, their team, what they've accomplished. Also proud of our guys, obviously. I think the thing that stood out to me was, we had a 10-point lead. It dissipates to where we're down 1 to 2 possessions, and a lot of times when you don't have the courage and character on your team to really gut through that. And I thought we did, and we were able to make enough plays at the end to win the game. I thought a big key was our ability to compete on the backboard in the second half. I thought they really took it to us on the glass in the first half, and we're fortunate to be tied at the half there with a couple plays we made at the end. But in the second half, our guys answered the bell on the glass and really did it with a collective effort. Proud of our guys. Obviously, we've got to get ready for a really good Toledo team tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Thank you, Coach. We will now move on to questions for the student athletes only. If you could please raise your hand, I'll go around and call on you. We'll start right now.
Yeah, Greg, give us the last play, how it played out for you. It looked like for a while you might be looking to pass it.
Well, the play was for me to come off a screen.
Don't tell Elton all our trade secrets.
Well, I'm gonna just tell you, I was supposed to come off a screen, and he was opening up. So I just made a read and went to try to go make a play.
And it looked like you got it right up under the rim. Was that because of the defense?
I thought he was gonna commit to me, and I was just gonna drop it off to Reek, but he stayed, and I was kind of under the rim. I just went up with it and just tried to finish it, and I ended up being fouled, knocking down the free throws.
Enrique, after taking it at 3, definitely a couple baskets, crucial baskets for you. What were you seeing out there? It seemed like you were finding a little bit more of a easier way to get to it.
I just noticed how they decided not to trap that second time. The first time I got the ball in the post, they decided to trap. The second time, after I took 2 dribbles, no one came, so I just scored.
Greg, what's going through your mind when you're lining up to make those free throws with the game essentially on the line at that point?
I put in a lot of work this offseason, and obviously I shoot a lot of free throws, and that's what I live for right there, to make big free throws, and that's what I did.
Enrique, I was just wondering, what was, actually for both of you, what was the difference in the second half on the glass? What did you guys do differently? Because they were taking it to you, and Coach mentioned this the other day, on the offensive glass. So what was the difference for you?
I think it was just when you go into a game, some things don't go your way, so you have to adjust. And during the second half, we noticed that we got beat on the glass, so the second half, we okay, that can't happen if we want to win.
Yeah, without rebounding, you're not going to be able to beat them. Man. We just knew if we wanted to have a chance in the game, we was going to have to rebound. So that's what we tried to do.
For the players, what does this mean to you guys? What does it say about Akron basketball?
It says that our team still has a lot more. This is just one game. And we don't want to settle. We just want to keep going.
Yeah, I'm not satisfied at all with this win. Still got 2 more to go.
During that stretch of time when you gave up the 10-point lead, what was going through both your minds?
I think we just stayed the course.
Yeah.
That's a part of the game. You have to respect your opponent. So as good as we are, as good as they are, they're going to go on a run, we're going to go on a run, and we just have to stay the course.
Yeah, we've been there plenty of times before. I was just telling everybody in the huddle, we've been here before, don't panic. There's a lot of time left in the game, and we still up by 2. So we ended up losing the lead. We then came back plenty of times before, so we never panicked.
Who spoke up loudest?
Really, the whole team, really.
Everyone.
Everybody.
You've got a Hollywood script story. You've all told on TV a million times, but did you ever think you'd be in this spot a couple years back?
I guess so. I think you just dream of stuff like this, so.
Guys, you guys did 19 games ago. Coach mentioned it earlier. It was 19 games ago when you played Buffalo. What was it that kind of brought you guys kind of
taking what you learned from that game, even though you won, bringing back to being able to get the result today?
Knowing that we play them nights and games ago, they're going to be a different team and we're going to be a different team. So just, having the same mindset you do in the first game. You're going to win. You're going to impact the glass. You're not going to let them punk you on the glass. Just having the same mindset.
Yeah. Obviously, we played them earlier in the season. I think it was the first game of conference. Everybody's different around this time of the year. Players are playing better, stuff like that. So just gotta do what we did the first time to win a game and plus more because we know they're gonna bring it too because they don't want to. Nobody likes to get swept. So I just feel like we just need to bring that same intensity.
Right there, last question for the student
Enrique, do you have an official friends and family head count?
Yeah, I think so.
What is it?
Definitely 20 plus, I think.
The pride of Cleveland.
Thank you, student athletes. You guys are dismissed. We're going to move on to questions for Coach Gross in a
Thank you,
moment.
guys.
Thank you.
So what did you tell them about the offensive glass in the first half? Because you were worried about it.
Yeah, worried about it coming in, and obviously he didn't do a good enough job in the first half. Now, it's easier said than done against them. They're fourth in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. They do it to a lot of people. But I thought there were a few times where we were spectators, George, and we just didn't fulfill our responsibilities on our rotational blockouts in the first half as well as we needed to. Second half, I just point blank told them at halftime, I love you guys, but if they get us 24-15 again in the second half on the glass, we're going home. So, they really stepped up, give them credit, and at least I felt like the rebounding needed to be competitive. So when you look at it, they still had 12 offensive rebounds. We had 10, and it was 35-34. So it was at least competitive. In the first half, it was not competitive on the glass. And to be honest with you, I felt like we were fortunate to be tied at halftime with that type of glass differential.
Wolfie, talk to me about Dawson. I thought that he kept you in the game, and then he helped get the lead. I thought.
Yeah, no, he shot making, and then he's just a tough dude, man. Like, he's a tough dude. Not a soft bone in that guy's body. I love coaching him. He cares about winning. He's a great teammate. He's about the right things. And I think when he plays, if you watch our team play closely, whenever he's in there, he plays that way, right? He's the loose ball, rebound, dive on the floor guy. It's hard not to love how he plays if you're whoever, a fan, an opposing coach, his own coaches, his teammates. He just plays with that type of inspiring way.
Yes.
John, how did your team's three-point shooting early in the half really carry you into the second? I think you opened 5 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, thank goodness, right? Great point. And I thought Castaneda, although he didn't score in the second half, he's done that a few times this year where we were struggling on offense, and he had explosive first halves. I think all 15 of them were in the first half. Thank goodness. And he makes the shot at the end of the half, which was a big one. That was a momentum builder for us that tied the game at 32 all. But you're right. The three-point shooting carried us because at halftime we were 5 for 13 at the rim. And we weren't great in the two-point area. We finished a little bit better in the second half.
George, what was your mindset when that stretch when you had a 10-point lead? I think you turned the ball over 5 times. By the time it was 62-62, what was your mindset?
Just to coach the possession that was in front of us. And those guys, now thank goodness, whether it was last Friday's Central Michigan home game where we had to make plays at the very end to win, Western Michigan at home. We've had a lot of games like that. Ohio State on the road didn't go our way. But we've been in a lot of these close games, as Greg mentioned, and I think that served those guys well in terms of, hey, don't panic, just play the possession that's in front of you. And you could hear him saying, look, we're still up 2. Let's keep playing here. So I think those guys have done a lot of winning. Greg, Reek was obviously a part of the team in 1920, that in a little different role. But Mike D, Ali, those guys know it's a long game.
Thoughts on Toledo, Coach?
Yeah, I'll dive into them a little bit more. We haven't played them for a while either, and we only played them one time, very similar to Buffalo. Not quite as much of a span in between the two games, but still a pretty significant one. And I'll dive into them a little more. Obviously, I know their offensive efficiency is number 1 in the league. Defensive efficiency was 1 or 2 all year. They had 17 league wins. They got multiple guys on the all-conference teams. You know, they're really good on offense, executing, especially if you let them get in a rhythm. And then obviously I mentioned their defensive numbers. I think certainly last year and this year have really grown. They've always been great on offense, but I think defensively they're equally as good. Man, they won the league for a reason, you know, with 17 wins. So it'll be a tremendous challenge tomorrow. But we're looking forward to it.
Just the thoughts of both Toledo and Akron, one possession, last shot games. From an emotional standpoint, how do you guys turn the page, get ready for tip?
No, it's a great question, Chad. Obviously, you know, both of us winning one possession games. It's interesting. I've been in a lot of these conference tournaments, obviously, as an assistant coach and head coach. And, you know, all the games are hard, so I don't want to say they're not. Whether it's quarterfinal, semifinal, championship game, they're all hard. Everybody's battling. But I always felt like the first one, when I look back on my career, that first game was like, you know, in every conference tournament. And some of them we didn't win, obviously. We've not won them all during my time at you know, Butler, Xavier, Ohio State, Ohio, Illinois, now here. But we've also been blessed in winning some of them. And I just look back on the 25 years and think about how hard those first games are. So, you know, my guess is both teams will settle in more tomorrow and play even better. I know we'll need to, obviously.
Why do you think those first games are the toughest?
I don't know. I mean, obviously you're playing out there. This deal's a little bit different in that the only time you get on the court's 30 minutes prior to the tip. You know, I tried to take the guys to the women's game yesterday. Did that purposefully, to support our women, which we want to continue to do that. They play Buffalo tomorrow. Melissa's done a great job. But secondarily, a benefit to that was that we just got in the arena and around it, you know. And so I think that may be part of it, but you know, hopefully we'll be even better tomorrow than we were today. You know, George reminded me we had 5 turnovers in about a 4-minute stretch, so you know us coaches will continue to dwell on that. For some reason, we're all screwed up. We all remember the tough losses than we do the wins. My wife likes to remind me of that.
We have time for one more.
So did Jordan text Michael or anything?
After the game? No, I don't know. We came last night, and I told those guys we were trying to get back for our meeting, but, you know, Michael's sister, Jordan Dawson, was the MAC MVP, and she plays on our women's team and does a really good job. And I told those guys, if that was my sister, I'd want to stay and watch her. So we're going to stay for the completion of the game. We'll just bump our meeting back a few minutes, and we were able to do that. And, again, congratulations to them. I'm excited for Coach Jackson and her team.
That wraps it up. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.